Howdy folks, Sapper here, aka Sean, and we're bringing you some World in Flames Victory in the West scenario. This would be the third impulse of the May-June 1940 turn. So the third impulse belonging to the Axis powers, or I can't say powers because there's only one. It belongs to the Axis. As impulses go along, so the units that are flipped upside down, they can't activate. So the longer it goes, there's going to be less and less units over time. So eventually, a power can declare a pass if they want, if they really don't plan on doing anything. So you can end that 2 month turn sooner if both sides just declare passes. I mean, eventually you're going to run out of units to activate. But if you get lucky dice rolls, some of these units can remain in the fight. I just had a combat where the Axis rolled really good, and half their units didn't get flipped upside down, so they may or may not be able to activate during the next impulse. If there is another Axis impulse, we still don't quite know that yet. But anyway, the highlights for this particular impulse, I've got the arrows kind of pointing it out, but there was a headquarters. Well, there still is a headquarters. You got the British headquarters here, and you also had, it looks like the eighth Mechanized Corps. So they were there. They were both flipped upside down, which, so he was kind of there, right? So when a unit's flipped upside down, the attacker gets +2 to the die roll for each unit in that hex that's flipped upside down. So we got a +4 to the die roll on the combat resolution table. I was searching for my words, but anyway, so we got +4 in addition to other bonuses that occurred. And I believe I used this hex here and this hex here, the units that were in both of these, to do that attack. I think the Germans suffered a loss as well. Yeah, the German. So it would be the German 35th Corps. So it was a kind of a weak unit. So they ended up getting taken out as well. I think each side took a loss. Nobody had to retreat or anything. So the headquarters stayed there. So I was kind of hoping to advance a little bit more into Belgium. And then my second combat was right here. So I used units from here and units from here. Of course, you're attacking across the river going that way, so these units were at a slight disadvantage. There was a little bit of air combat involved because I needed like one more combat factor to push that. The odds were like at a 2.3 or a 2.4, something like that. So I had to commit a plane as a bomber to give one more attack factor, which pushed the odds to like a 2.5. So, and then once you get to that 0.5 or higher, then you can round up. So I had 3-to-1 attack odds right here. And this unit here, this headquarters, and this infantry were in that forest. And after all was said and done, the plane ended up getting through. France did commit a fighter. They did intercept. So they intercepted with that guy right there, unfortunately. And I did a random roll because that's France's only plane. I was like, do I want to commit this guy as an interceptor? You know? So I did a roll. On a 1, 2, or 3, they would commit the interceptor. Of course, the roll was successful because I figured, I mean, the longer we can stall Germany, the better it is, right? Because this is basically, we're trying to postpone the inevitable because we know Germany's going to take France unless something really bad happens. So I figured, it's attrition, right? Let's just slow them down, keep it down to where every hex counts. So they tried to hold right there in the forest, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. I believe the result was retreats. So the attacker got to choose where these two units retreated. So I decided to split them up. So we don't have all that. We don't have, instead of having 9 factors in one hex, we have a factor of 4 and a factor of 5. So I split them up because the attacker got to decide how the retreat went, and then I advanced. And then I got to half the units committed remain face up, so I had these two here, and then I had these two here. So I advanced him after combat. So that's kind of the status right there. And then during the reorganization phase, I flipped that headquarters. So what you can do is during your reorganization phase, you've got that 4 in parentheses. If I flip this headquarters over, I can any unit, friendly unit that's in supply within 4 motorized hexes of that headquarters, I can flip them back over to their active side. So I flipped various units over so that when it's the Germans' next impulse, I'll be able to go on another offensive. So basically you exhaust a headquarters to flip over other non-headquarters units. You can do planes too, but planes may or may not cost more. It's kind of funny how it works. But I think it's a really neat system where you can do that. So basically I flipped over 4 units, various units within here, so that I will be able to conduct an offensive during the next German impulse. Also, if the Allies decide to attack flipped units, again, the attacking unit, if you're attacking a unit that is flipped over, you get favorable die roll modifiers. So that also helps during the defense as well. But anyway, that is the German impulse number 3 of the May-June 1940 turn. So we'll get back with you later after we complete the Allies impulse. All right, thanks. All right, folks, I have just conducted the Allied impulse, so that would have been impulse number 4. It was a really tough decision to make. It's like, okay, what kind of action do I want to take? And I had, so if you recall, I had that naval unit, or that sea transport down here. Well, here. Yep, in Casablanca, I had that Moroccan French infantry in it. So I wanted to get that guy up into the fight. So I moved him to Saint Nazaire. The Moroccan unit debarked, and then I used rail movement to get the Moroccan unit right there. So boom, there's the Moroccans. They're the Moroccan, probably the French Foreign Legion or something like that, because it's a French unit. So they made it, did a little movement. So my inexperience with the game kind of showed through here, right? Like, so here's the Maginot Line. So I'd have to go back and look at the setup again, but there's a lot of units, a lot of garrison units like these guys here with the low movement that I think I should have stuck here on the Maginot Line, and that would have freed up. See, here's a garrison unit here. He was there. He was there. This guy probably should have been somewhere not on the Maginot Line, and trying to get him off here is a pain, because if you move into an enemy zone of control, he has to stop movement. So I could have moved him to here. And then, of course, you have stacking you got to worry about, 2 units in a stack. So in hindsight, I probably would have put more garrison units right there. Would have made a little bit more sense. And then put my main fighting forces starting right here. So during the attack phase, I only conducted 1 attack, which was right here, because with the combined move, the French and the Commonwealth only get 1 attack each. So that's either 1 unit or 1 stack. So it really, I mean, it's interesting how the different actions really limit you in the choices that you make. So I only got 1 attack. I figured, hey, this guy here, he's a flipped unit, so I'll get some better odds. There was 2 units there, and of course I rolled really terrible. I had 2-to-1 odds against a flipped unit. So this guy here, he is a 6-5. And then that guy there is a 6-4. Both of them were there. They attacked. I rolled poorly, which resulted in an attacker loss. So, I mean, it couldn't have gone any, it could have gone a little bit worse, but not much. So that attack kind of stalled. Nothing really happened there. The French did a little bit of, we flipped this headquarters here to flip this unit back over to its active side and flip this unit back over. So we'll see if that is going to help. Yeah, that's basically the status of forces after the fourth impulse. And we'll see what happens with the victory in the West scenario, the German Case Yellow drive through the Netherlands, Belgium, and into France. We'll see if we can have a historical result. All right, thanks for watching.